Hello everyone, this is Raphael from Fastgen, and today I would like to show you how to build a surfboard shop with Webflow, Wized and Fastgen. So let's start right in. I already built a template here in Webflow and I created a grid. This is where all of the products from our Fastgen backend should be loaded into. So I created a product listing with an image, name of the board, price of the board. And now we want to use custom attributes to make them usable from Wized. So we will first click on the container that contains all of the product details, click plus at custom attributes and add an attribute with the name W-EL and call this one product. And now we need to name every single element that we want to change from our database. So we click on image and do exactly the same. We create a new custom attribute, W-EL, and call this one image. Do the same for name, W-EL, call it name, and then price of the board, again W-EL and price. That's everything we need to prepare from Webflow. And now let's publish the site and go over to Fastgen to prepare everything we need in the backend to load our surfboards. Okay, so now we are here in Fastgen. We can go right over to the template section where we already created a get surfboards template. Click on this so it is loaded into your Fastgen account, and you can see here it created a get route together with a database called surfboards with all of the surfboard data that we need. We have names, descriptions, prices and images in there. Let's go over to the API, get surfboards, and we want to hit deploy to live and copy the URL because we will now need it in Wized. Here we are in Wized, and as you can see, I've already connected our Acme surfboard shop to this Wized project. We now want to go ahead and add a new app. We want to name this, let's say, Fastgen Surfboards, and as an app we click on REST API and we can copy our URL in here and remove surfboards from it. So click close and we inserted our first app into it. We now want to go to the data in section, click add, let's call this one get surfboards and choose the app Fastgen surfboards. As an URL endpoint we want to type in surfboards as this is where our surfboards are located, and as a method choose get. Then we can add a trigger. As a trigger, we want to say attribute present, and as an attribute, we want to select product. So now the trigger is that the page loads and then the surfboards are requested. So now everything that's left to do is to create an action that actually puts all of this data into the site. So let's get over to actions, hit add action. Let's call this one set product. And we want to apply this to the attribute product. Remember, this is the container that contains all of the details that we have. And then set this to render list from array. And here we want to choose from get surfboards. If this hasn't loaded, by the way, you can hit this little button right here and go for results. Hit done. And now we need a variable for index. To get this variable, we can go over to data store and create a new variable. Let's call it I for simplicity and put the initial value to 0 because we are counting from 0 upwards. Go back to the actions, set product, and now we can change the variable for index to v.I. And now we want to set 3 actions to load name, price and image. So let's get ahead and create a new action, call this one set name. And we want to apply this to the attribute name. And for the configuration, set this to set text with a text type plain text. And the text that we want to get comes from results.name. And for this, we don't always want to have the first result, so result 0, but we can insert our variable in here, v.I. So it counts through the whole list and shows all of the board names that we have. Hit done, and we can create the next action to set the price. So call this set price, apply it to price, and set this again to set text, plain text, and get our data from results.price. Again here, exchange the 0 for v.I. And as you can see, the number that comes from this only is $4.99, but we don't have any $sign or something in here. So we can go ahead, click in front of the variable, hit the $sign, and we have our full price. Hit done, and now we can create the image. So go ahead and set image, attribute, image, and set this to set HTML attribute this time, because in the src attribute of the element, this is where the image gets loaded. So we can set the value to results.image and again exchange the 0 for v.I. Now we can hit done and go ahead to refresh our canvas to see if this worked. And yes, that is looking great. We have all of our different boards together with name, price, and image. So yes, now you're ready to publish. And this was how to build a surfboard shop with Webflow as a front end, Fastgen as a backend, and Wized as the connector between these two. I hope this was helpful and happy building.